Thank you. Hi, both of you. It's gonna be in Spanish. Sorry, Sean. Shaq, si nos puedes hablar un poco de la relación que tienes con Walker al jugar en el mismo equipo y cómo esto se puede ver reflejado en la defensa de la selección.
Sí, los dos tenemos una buena relación, jugamos juntos en el equipo de Nashville, jugamos bien, hablamos mucho y yo creo que eso va a ser positivo desde a partir de ahí y yendo adelante en el torneo.
Steven, right in front.
Sean, this is an odd World Cup that there's no build-up, a long build-up to it. It's a very short runway. What's the sense among the guys coming together on short notice, being here on ground now and still waiting for a few more guys 1 week ahead of the first match?
Yeah, I think personally, it's my first World Cup and just the excitement to be here. I know some of the guys are the same, and as guys start to trickle in, just integrating everybody into the group. But obviously, it's a group that's super familiar. I think everybody's focused on the first match day. But I think as we get guys in and all get on the same page, I think we'll be exactly where we want to be.
To your right, Jeff Carlisle.
My question's for Shaq. In the run-up to the roster announcement, what were those days and weeks like for you? I mean, did you get a sense that you were close to being on the roster? I mean, did Greg tip his hand at all? I mean, what was that like for you?
It was a whirlwind of emotions. Obviously, I knew I was in contention, but there was no real, hint that I was in or not. So I knew going into the last camp, I, had a shot. So I just wanted to put my best foot forward and live with the results. So I think I did that, and I'm happy to be here.
Grant.
I feel like I ask this question of goalkeepers at every World Cup at the start about the ball. What do you think about the ball for this World Cup, Sean?
Yeah, I think playing with the ball, as a goalkeeper, you understand that, a lot of the balls are designed to fly fast, fly true, and obviously goals are exciting. But we're just getting used to the ball and adjusting, and so far so good. So nothing to report yet, but as we get going, I'm sure I'll be able to give you some more feedback.
There's a nice Sean Johnson save highlight video on Twitter yesterday. You can check it.
Hi, Shaq, I'm going this one in Spanish. ¿Qué tan importante fue que volvieras de España a Nashville en esta parte del año para poder meterte en esta lista? ¿Cuánto pesó esa decisión que tomaste?
Sí, fue muy importante, ¿no? Porque yo sabía que iba a jugar un mundial y tenía que estar preparado, ¿no? Y lo más importante era jugar lo máximo posible, coger confianza, coger ritmo. Y yo creo que en ese sentido todo fue positivo. Así que nada, si pudiera hacerlo otra vez, lo haría lo mismo.
Sí.
Thanks. I'll go to Sean for this one since Shaq just got the last one. We see the facility. The field looks pristine. You guys have the gym out there. I'm curious what your impressions of it are and how it stacks up to past U.S. training camps and what you see with your club usually.
Yeah, so far my experience has been the facilities are fantastic. First few days here, the field's great. Obviously having everything in one place. Having a top-class gym to prepare as well. My first experience, wouldn't be able to compare it to other World Cups, obviously, but this so far has impressed me in terms of the setup, and this player is giving us the best environment to really prepare properly headed into Wales.
Yeah.
For both you guys, if you will, just curious your first impressions of the country, what it's been like, how you adjusted to travel, how you're settling into the hotel, all those sorts of stuff. What have you found so far? Thanks.
Yeah, it's been good. We've adjusted well. Obviously, we got a few days under our belt, adjusting to the heat and the time difference as well. So yeah, I think it's been good. We have a good coaching staff that helps us along with that as well too. So yeah, I think we're going in the right direction to be able to peak and be at our top performance when the first game comes.
Both Sean and Shaq were part of the MLS group that arrived on the 10th into country.
Shaq, I think people back home are just curious about this place, this venue for a World Cup. Describe what it's like being here for the past few days, just what you guys have been able to do beyond your workouts. What's your experiences?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been great. I've never been here before, so it's been good to experience this part of the world. Was able to get out a bit and see a few places. And yeah, it's been good. Obviously, a lot of us didn't know a lot about this region in general, so I think it's going to be good for us as a group to not only play soccer, but obviously get to know the area as well. So I think it's definitely positive in that sense.
Sean, hi. Thank you for doing this. With Zach out of the roster, do you feel like the competition for the goalkeeper spot has changed in any way? How can you describe that?
Yeah, I think just speaking from my own personal experience, the goalkeeping position and as it pertains to Zach, I've also been in that position back in 2014, and empathize with all the players who I think wanted to be here, and ultimately I think the focus is now moving forward with this group, just to put our best foot forward to make sure that we're all prepared and ready to get the job done for the country. And I think we practice making sure that we push each other every single day, obviously in a competitive mindset, and ultimately one of us can play. So when that does happen, that decision's made, we'll be fully supportive and doing anything we can to make sure that this group moves in one direction, and that's forward.
Meg?
Hey guys, Michael mentioned that you were both part of that MLS group who'd arrived on the 10th. I think you might have actually been the first players of the entire tournament to arrive. I think you came shortly after that event in Brooklyn when the big announcement was made about the roster. Can you talk about that flight that you guys made together? Did you sleep? Did you talk? Were you excited? Is there relief? And then now that you guys are all here, I think just 4 more players are coming in. Can you talk about the mood amongst the team? I know there might have been some nerves in September camp as people were trying to make the roster. Is that gone away? Is there relief now, just excitement? Or is there any World Cup nerves? Can you talk about that as well? Thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, personally, I was sitting next to Shaq on the plane, and I think every time he looked over, I was slumped over my food mid-bite. Yeah, it was a long flight, but a good one. I think there was a lot of excitement post, obviously, the roster release and the event there in Brooklyn. I think everybody's super excited to get here and get going. The first few days has been, incredible, and just really, as the guys get integrated and seeing the faces again, and really just getting to be with everybody, and again, being here, it's my first experience, and looking forward to a fantastic World Cup, and just happy to get going.
Yeah, like Sean said, it was great to have that relief of finally the roster coming out, knowing who was on, who was off. So it's been good. The flight, was long, but it was good to finally get over, get to know the guys and get to know the new guys that are coming in, and it's been great. So, this is the group we have going forward, and we're looking forward to put on good performances in the tournament.
Paul?
This is for both of you. I'll start with Sean. In the video of you and Greg, when you found out, you talked about being excited to tell your mom the good news. I wonder how that conversation went, and then kind of the logistics of once you find out you make the tournament, reaching out to family and friends, trying to book them here, what that part of it was like, and who was coming to watch you guys at the World Cup.
Yeah, I think that was a very emotional time for me, a very special moment, obviously to find out that I was going to the World Cup. It's been a lifelong dream and goal of mine as a player since the first time I stepped on the field. And that story was basically my mom wasn't able to make it to the MLS Cup final. It was during the pandemic and a tough time a tough and challenging time for everybody. She really would have wanted to be there. So I just told her, set my sights on making the World Cup team, and she would be the first call and the first one I booked to come here and join. So the days after, I think U.S. Soccer did a great job of facilitating, making sure that we had the right resources to get our families over, and my mom and dad, girlfriend will be joining as well. So I'll have my family here in full support. But it's definitely special to have them here and sharing this moment with me.
Yeah, it was obviously a great moment, very emotional, especially for me the past, year and a half, the ups and downs of, a soccer player. So it was great to, finally, be knowing that, the hard work paid off. Coming here, it's been great, like like Sean said, the federation has done a great job, to bring the resources for us to bring our families over. So to be able to have that moment all together with your loved ones who've been there, from day one, it's going to be great.
Straight back.
Have you, hi guys, have you chatted very much as a team about some of the off-field issues that have been raised before the World Cup, the human rights and worker rights and LGBT rights? And I just wonder what you thought about having the World Cup here.
Yeah, we've chatted and continuing to have discussions as we lead into the games, and I think we've leaned on the message of be the change, and that's something we've been really proud of, and obviously continue to work towards being impactful with ourselves, with our presence, our platform, and we'll continue to do so here in Qatar.
Yeah, like Sean said, it's a team. We've not launched the initiative to be the change. Obviously, we're aware of what's going on, and we obviously want to be here and play, but also be the change as well. So,
last question to your left.
Hello, is it for both of you? I just following on from that question. I mean, it's a brave stance the US have taken with the rainbow flag, and it's FIFA have told countries not to speak about issues, but you clearly feel as a squad pretty strongly about it, and you're prepared to do that throughout the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a sign of our values and what we represent as a men's national team in U.S. soccer, and we're a group that believes in inclusivity, and we'll continue to project that message going forward.